This next comic coming to the stage is coming to us all the way from London, England. So let's give him a warm Houston welcome. I need y'all to start clapping right now. Start clapping right now. Mr. Nicholas Santo, everybody.
Thanks very much. Good to be here in Houston, Texas. My first time in Texas. Yeah, I live in England, but I'm not originally from England, although I truly feel at home in Britain because some of my teeth are British. Okay, first joke worked. That's good. That's good. We have a new king. Have you heard? It feels weird. Our new king is actually old, out of touch, and corrupt. So, hang on, that's Biden. That's Biden. Our king is only old and out of touch. He's not corrupt. How can a king be corrupt? I'd like to change the constitution to stay on the throne forever. That is already the arrangement, Your Majesty. How can a king be corrupt? By the way, all of this stuff is very funny in England. Okay. Just so you know. I'm sorry, excuse me for my voice. I have a bit of a cold. We are not used to this potent American AC. Back in Europe, we can't afford AC. I know what you guys call us. You call us Europores. Europores. Yeah, let's be honest about it. We call you parvenu. Doesn't feel nice, does it? You don't even know what it means, do you? Parvenu is French for nouveau riche. This is near Louisiana, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, we are not too keen on the French either. When it comes to pretentious banter, nothing beats the French. But as citizens of the world, we are all more reassured. We feel safer when adults are in charge of the White House. Nobody wants an idiot in the White House. And not long ago, there was an idiot in the White House. I don't want to dignify him by mentioning his name, but this idiot messed up Iraq, messed up Afghanistan, messed up Syria. He gifted Libya to ISIS. Thank God, eventually Donald Trump took over from this idiot. Is this Texas or what? Red stayed my eyes. I've been following Stormy Daniels' trial. That's not the funny part, but thank you. Good laugh there. You're putting too much pressure on me now. If you laugh at the setup like that. Stormy Daniels, high-end escort, allegedly had sex with Trump for money and then signed a non-disclosure for even more money, then changed her mind about the non-disclosure for a book deal and even more money. So it becomes a bit sad, right? Now Trump is denying what Stormy said and Stormy is denying what Trump says. And I feel like this is so depressing. Is this the world where I want to raise my children? A world where you can no longer trust the integrity of a high-end escort? If that is the integrity of a high-end escort, what can you expect from these cheap a dime a dozen crack whores? Now Stormy's book is coming out, so for $12.99 you can read all the juicy details of what Trump did to Stormy. But for $60, you can do all the juicy things Trump did to Stormy. So I'm not recommending it, but if you are into that kind of thing, maybe don't buy the book. Paris Olympic Games are coming up next door to England where I live. Do you guys like sports? Listen, there's a lot of crazy wokeism going on. Hear me out. Germany's female gymnasts, they have changed their kits. They have changed their leotards for unitards. Now they're covering shoulder to legs, shoulder to ankles. Basically, they're covering their legs. They're covering their legs. They said this is to combat the objectification of women. So any of you perverts who were hoping to catch an eyeful of these German female gymnasts, long, bare, supple legs, this is bad news for you guys. However, if you were hoping to look at their camel toes, it's business as usual. True story. Have you seen gymnastics kits? And they're covering the legs? But of course, objectification of women is no laughing matter, guys. We can no longer allow the patriarchy to tell women what to do with their bodies. It is now up to less attractive women to tell other women what to do with their bodies. I don't get what the problem is with objectification. What is objectification? Objectification means when I find somebody desirable as a potential sex partner in a hypothetical scenario, if other conditions were met. Like, I see this person and I think, okay, if she was available and I was available and my wife had died peacefully of an illness more than 2 years ago and I was lovingly and caringly by her side until that moment, and Houston Rockets were not playing tonight, then I would. It's conditional. It's basic English grammar. You with me? So who wouldn't want to be objectified? I put it to you that everybody would love being objectified. If you don't believe me, go to any person of your choice and try this. Say, hey, Amanda, can I have a word with you? Yeah, Amanda, listen, this is good. You're going to love this. How long have you been colleagues? Yeah, 6 months? Okay. Listen, Amanda, when I look at you, I don't find you desirable, even hypothetically. Under no circumstances, I'm hard-pressed to think of any situation. I'm struggling to come up with any scenario in which I would want to see you naked, never mind have sexual congress with you. See how that works out for you? Nobody's with me on this, but try this and I flew 8 hours in coach for this. Some of these jokes are for my YouTube fans, don't worry about it. But Joe Biden is pushing with the green agenda, phasing out oil and gas, fossil fuels. What a great idea. Let's take away from Arabs their only source of prosperity. I was reading this on Twitter. Somebody was, yeah, let's phase out fossil fuels, make Arabs irrelevant. Make Arabs irrelevant? If you think Arabs hate you, wait until you make them irrelevant. This is an oil state, right? Are we in Texas? I love Texas. I went to Austin, Capitol. There was a portrait of George W. Bush, and I looked at that with mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings about George W. Bush, former governor, because he's the reason I missed out on so much sex at university. In Italy, where I was born, that's where I originally come from. And people tell me, hey, how come you couldn't get laid at college? You're Italian, for God's sake. Yes, I'm Italian, but everybody else was also Italian. So your edge kind of wears off when everybody is Italian. But the main reason was that I started university in 2001, and that's when George W. decided to go into Iraq and Afghanistan, and I supported him. And I was the only one at university who supported him. And the reason George W. Bush and I believe that that was a good thing is that George W. Bush and I are not racist. Because George W. Bush and I believe that people are essentially the same and they want a better future for their kids, democracy, prosperity, and send them to college. And I believed in that. And 20 years later, when you look back at Iraq and Afghanistan, I'm big enough to admit that I was wrong and the racists were right. It didn't work out because we are not the same. Some people don't want to send their kids to college. They want to send their kids to an Israeli music festival to kill the kids who have gone to college. And some other people want to send their kids to college to chant support for those kids who went to murder the college kids at the Israeli music festival. Is that too real for you guys? Okay, I end on this. People say it's difficult. Thanks for sticking by me so far. This is not easy. People say doing a stand-up comedian is the most difficult job in the world. But I don't think so. I think the most difficult job in the world, do you want to know what the most difficult job in the world is? A Mexican nationalist. Hear me out. Thanks for the laugh. A Mexican nationalist is like It's the most difficult job in the world because you say, look at all these territories the American bastards took away from us. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, made it prosperous and rich and happy. It stops right now. We need to reclaim all these territories for the greater Mexico. And do you know who would be the angriest with that policy? The other Mexicans. They'd be like, hombre, we are trying to cross the border into the US and you want to push the border further north? Have we not walked enough? Okay, I said that in Tucson, Arizona, they liked it more than you did. And they were all Mexicans. Okay, I've been Nicholas de Santo. You've been a great crowd. Thank you very much.
Nicholas de Santo, everybody. Yeah. All the way from London.